Good morning and welcome back to our weekly live webinar, Tuesday weekly live webinar. Really appreciate you guys attending. So what we're looking at today is Aetna. Of course, this has always been a really big product. It's very well known, household name, very good commissions, very good product. They've got a couple product as well. You're going to get a super preferred rate, things like that. So today, if you guys haven't seen what we've done on Aetna in the past, we definitely want to revisit, give you guys a refresher, and just make sure you guys are up to date on kind of what they have. Make sure you guys are up to date on what they bring to the marketplace. So again, this is a big deal when it comes to just having something that's very robust and standard in your portfolio. So we want to make sure that again you are just making sure we're getting you those reminders first and foremost, because most people are going to know about Aetna, but it's always good to have that refresher and just make sure you guys remember what they have. Again, massive name when it comes to the insurance industry all the way around. So if you guys have any questions, of course, throw those in the box here. If you guys need anything from me or have any questions about the slides or anything like that, let me know in the box. So again, thank you guys for attending. We'll jump right into it. Let's see what we got here. So the Perfect Edition, our exclusive final expense product. Uh-oh, clicky. No, there we go. All right, so CVS Health and Ascendo, of course, CVS, massive name. Everyone sees them when they're going to maybe a pharmacy or just kind of, it's on every corner, I would say, a lot of corners. If we're talking about medicine or anything like that, CVS comes up. So again, household name, people are going to know exactly who you're talking about. It's going to jog that memory pretty quick. So the need for final expense. You understand the need for final expense insurance. 59% of Americans would borrow or struggle to cover $1,000 emergency expenses. And again, this is true for so many people. 59% of Americans. I'm sure everyone that are in here right now, everyone that we've talked to, could definitely relate to something of that nature at some point in time within their life, at some point in time within someone that's close or a loved one to them. Unique opportunities to add the final expense product from a major brand. Again, very big brand. Nearly 70% of Americans live within 3 miles of a CVS pharmacy and regularly take advantage of the products and services. Voted America's most trusted drugstore in a National Reader's Digest poll. So again, that first statement, the 70% of Americans live within 3 miles of CVS. I know I do. Can point right down the road to them. So really funny, and I'll kick into that. So I actually use CVS a lot for printing pictures. Me and my kid like to do a lot of, whenever there's a school project, I try to act like I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I'm the parent that tries to go absolutely crazy and do some crazy stuff. So we're always printing out pictures and stuff like that to kind of give them that full explanation of what they're looking for or what illustrations he's trying to do or whatever, a visual, right? So CVS is great for multiple different things. The final expense side of the business, obviously the drugstore side of the business and making sure people are getting what they need. But then the other thing, like me, right, utilizing it for kind of the off the wall stuff, printing out pictures for my kids' projects. So again, household name, everyone knows it's still here. Let me know if you guys can see me. I'm not the worker of this deal, but the deal went black here, or blank. So I'm sure you guys, let's see. Let me make sure you guys can see me here. Looks like it. Let's see. Let me make sure. Hmm. Okay, great. That's what I was making sure of. All right, good. Let's jump back into it. Thank you, Miss Vicky. I appreciate it. I always need those checks and balances. Sometimes I'm just not quite sure. Says no, I cannot. I can't see your screen. I cannot. Oh, that's fine. Great. That just want to make sure that's in the bottom. Okay, good. We'll jump back into it. All right. So a trusted name with available super preferred rates. So anytime you see super preferred, then you know that there's definitely going to be some coupling going on, and making sure that you have both products to get that super preferred rate. So the perfect addition to your offering provides a powerful cross-selling opportunity with the Aetna Med Sup. So sell Med Sup and final expense for a leading carrier, Aetna or CVS. Aetna Med Sup clients get a discount that won't come out of your commission, which is massive, right? Because we always want to make sure that the client can get the discount, can get the best rate possible. So if you're having that opportunity to cross sell and just have that conversation, you can look at doing something with the Med Sup side of the business and also the life side of the business. Now, again, obviously, we know this is a live webinar. If you guys have talked, I've talked to, sure, all of you guys. I'm not well educated, so I lean on my team a ton when it comes to that. So if you guys have questions or anything like that, we have ladies in the office that are been doing this stuff for a very long time and can tell you everything they need to know about it. Simple application questions provide the right product based on the client's health. So the application and the questions are going to simplify the way that, or take the guessing work out of it is the best way I like to say it. Making something simple or easy to utilize. Strong commissions that are fair, competitive, and attractive to recruits. So again, so fair commissions, they're competitive. And of course, if you're trying to build a team, this is definitely a product you want to have that's stable in your portfolio, something that you know that you can use for the Med Sup side as well as the life side. And if all things go well, you can cross sell and bring both those together and really get them a really good rate, and of course, commission wise as well. So let's see here. Let's jump back over here. Go to the next slide. All right. How a Sendo final expense can add to your bottom line. That's what it's all about, right? Making sure that at the end of the day, you have a product that can really just kind of take it to the next level, or a product that can just keep you consistently where you want to be. I think a big part of just building a portfolio or building a business and building that book of business is having something that you know you can go to and something that you know you can get some clients through. So if there's anything that I would say, if I was looking at, hey, and I talk to a lot of people, hey, you're starting out, these are the things you have to have in your portfolio. And Aetna is consistently one that I'm always going to say, I'm always going to bring up, because the versatility of the product when it comes to the Med Sup side as well as the life side, and just being able to grab all those little tidbits, like, hey, listen, this is CVS, or if you say Aetna, and of course Aetna doesn't pop off to them, then you can say something like CVS, right? And immediately they're going to be like, oh yeah, obviously our CVS is right down the road, probably about a quarter mile, half a mile away, somewhere in there, across from McDonald's, the shopping center, things like that. So everyone knows and everyone is familiarized with CVS. So something that is going to anchor your portfolio, and something that's going to make you a product that's going to make sure you have exactly what you need when it comes to making sure that no matter what the case may be, I can definitely get you through Aetna, and I can definitely get you a product that is going to help you. It's something that you're familiarized with. So to jump back into it, super preferred rate, that's 10% lower than the preferred rate, and that isn't subtracted from your commission. So again, they kind of bounce back to that, because that is a very important thing when you're an independent agent, is making sure that you have something that is going to facilitate you actually building your book of business and making sure you can take care of your family and pay those bills and do all the things we want to do, right? And make those incremental dollars as well. So again, super preferred rate, 10% lower than the preferred, doesn't come out of the commission or anything like that. Strong level commissions paid twice a week. So that's really big when you talk about, again, an independent agent that's either one, just getting started, or two, just trying to make sure they're keeping their book of business rolling, by making sure that they have the opportunity to get paid twice a week. Easy quoting process. So this is the highlight for me. Without a height and weight chart, plus a simple e-app process that allows the electronic signatures. Excuse me. If we talk, and there's many things nowadays that it's all about simplify. KISS, keep it simple, stupid, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, keep it as simple, keep it as something that you guys can utilize. It's a go-to product. Again, no height and weight chart, because again, that is something that I would say creates massive issues, but it does create issues when you're trying to find placement for these individuals, right? Your clients, potential clients, rewriting somebody, whatever the case may be. A height and weight chart sometimes can can create some issues, right? I'm probably not within the correct range that I need to be in. So a lot of times you're going to see that people or agents are looking for products, or you guys are looking for products that don't require height and weight chart, because it just makes it a little bit easier. EAP process is always going to be a lot easier. Electronic signature, something that again is simplified, easy. Broad qualifying range, you can sell anyone between the ages of 40 and 89. I spoke to a gentleman yesterday and also one today, and I think we were talking about that age range being kind of like the sweet spot in most companies. But then also, like I said, again, just making sure you have a product that can work for you across the board. And this is one of those products that can do it for you. Flexible coverages within a low minimum policy requirement of $2,000. So that's pretty big as well. I mean, I've seen some guys go down to 1,000, and I've seen some guys kind of fluctuate within that range. But to $2,000 is definitely something that it's good to have it, right? But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're educating your client and making sure that they know. Of course, $2,000 is something to have to make sure you have something in place, but it's definitely not sufficient enough to make sure that you're getting that client is going to be able to get what they need in that time of need, or when they need to use the policy, or when their family needs to use a policy, however you want to look at that. But again, Aetna will get them on the book for right at $2,000, which is really nice, because again, it's better to have something on the book than have nothing on the book, right? Whatever fits within their budget. Auto drafts that match the Social Security deposit schedule, helping keep the premiums current. So again, another thing is just making sure we're retaining that business. And if you can say, hey, listen, we can get this drafted when your SSN check or your Social Security check comes in, that's a big deal. Not only are you looking out for the client, you're looking out for making sure that they have their policies on the book, making sure it matches up. Listen, I'm one of those people. I have, and I think we all are at this day and age, right? We get paid and our money goes here, goes there, goes here, goes there. So, by the time we get it, we know what we're working with, but we also know that our responsibilities are taken care of. And so this is just another product that will help you do that, and help appease that client that may need that type of setup, that may, I want to say someone doesn't have self-control or something like that, right? But sometimes you get a little happy and you may not be thinking. So it's always best to have something that's in place to be able to match up, and to make sure the premium is current, because that's what it's all about, right? Keeping the policy current, keeping it on the book. So how Ascendo Final Expense can help your clients. And again, that's what we're all here for, making sure everyone's getting helped out. If I can't find you something here, Mr. Client, or Mr. or Mrs. Client, then I can find you something here. And I'm gonna make sure I do everything in my power to do so. Peace of mind from a trusted brand, helping ease the strain of losing a loved one. And that's, listen, when we talk about final expenses, when we talk about life insurance, that's what it's all about. I can remember being 17, I think I was, and it's crazy to think back to this, but I can remember being 17 and there was an agent in my house, and I walked in for maybe practice or something, hang out with friends or something like that. And I sat down, and of course I was that kid, like, my dad's talking to his lady. I just sit down and I'm just listening and start talking to. But that's what they were talking about, right? They were talking about life insurance. It of course made me uneasy, because the first thing that came to my mind is like, hey, Dad, what's up? You something wrong with you that I don't know about? But the reality of it is that, again, we're taking care of those things and just making sure his policy was up to date. He already had a policy, don't know who it was with, nothing like that. But he was just making sure that it was up to date. And of course, I was up to age at that point where we can really just kind of have a slight conversation of about what it's about about life, and kind of what life insurance was entailing. Not to know that, I don't know, 15 years later, that I'd be sitting in this seat talking about life insurance. But again, that's what it's all about. So lessening the strain of losing a loved one and just having those real conversations. And again, having a product like Ascendo or Aetna, that's going to allow you to put a trusted brand behind that cause is really big. Competitive rates, including super preferred rates, making final expense coverage affordable and accessible. So again, it's all the same thing, right? Just making sure we're competitive. Flexible coverage amounts starting at low as $2,000. And this is just kind of going back through what we've done. Excuse me. Everybody out there has a cough right now, guys. This weather or sickness or time of year, whatever it is, everybody's got a cough. I think I'm getting over it, but I feel like I'm getting it back. I just don't know where I'm at right now. So I'm just dealing with it. Attractive riders for clients, including a grandchild rider that can be converted to a lifetime coverage of 5 times the face amount, up to $35,000. An accelerated death benefit rider that allows access up to 50% of that allows access to up to 50% of the face amount. So again, that's really big when we're in this day and age, when we start talking about understanding how people utilize this outside of the death. Just put it how it is, right? So how someone can use this outside of death. You're paying into this deal. You are able to say that, hey, I have something in place for X, Y, and Z. But an accelerated death benefit rider that allows access to 50% of the face amount, that's really big as well, because you can do things with that to help out that individual, help out that little one, whether it be, hey, they're 16 years old and they're they might be needing a car, or there's a big expense that, hey, they're in French class, and we're gonna go with that, where they're in French class and they've got a trip to Paris or something like that. I think this is along those lines. So some type of rider that would allow or help with those things, or even if we're not specifically talking about that exact statement right there, just being able to have that type of conversation with your client to say, hey, you can have some type of access to these funds prior to, but before that actually happens, and be able to pay that back. So that is a big deal. I mean, there's obviously things that come along with that. But again, just making sure you're going around the board, just show them different ways that this works. Because me at that table at 17 years old, I had no clue what that person was talking about. I was just more so worried about, hey, is something wrong with dad? Is he all right? But having these features and having these riders and things like that are going to help and kind of give someone a different perspective on what this can be utilized for and how this can be used, other than that normacy of, hey, this is only used for when someone dies, X, Y, and Z. So this is something that can help sell the product, right? Something that can help your pitch. Just kind of have something that, if someone started talking to me about that, and say, for instance, we were talking about life insurance, and they start talking about, hey, you can utilize this for something else in this sense, or you can take care of this, you do have to pay it back. But that would make my ears perk up, because now I know that they're not only looking at it from a one-sided perspective, they're also looking at it from multiple different perspectives as well, and how this could be utilized to help someone out other than death, right? So that's really, really good. Accidental death benefit rider that doubles the payout amount when life is cut short due to an accident. So that's always really big. We never know what's going to happen from now to then. So it's really big to make sure you have something in place. And again, educating that client and talking to them about it, and just making sure they understand accidental death, right? It's an accident, but at the same time, it has to be dealt with. So it is one of those things that can help out with that. So again, some very good points here to kind of just help that brain think a little bit more outside of the box. Because again, as an agent, I'm sure you guys go in to this deal every single day doing it's kind of repetitive in a sense. Things are of course different, but you are trying to keep that consistency in what you're doing. So adding something new and fresh in there all the time is always going to help. Maybe spinning something, asking a question, or whatever it may be, just make someone think. Might help someone think. It might help me think as well. So a broad national footprint. As you can see from this map here, everything in red is what's available state by state upon approval. We got Cali in there. Of course, they're kind of always on those lines. I mean, it gets better with different carriers, but there's always that. Florida, Connecticut, Michigan, New York, kind of the normal guys in there. But again, the big point here is look at the footprint, right? Look at all the red that's here. We've got a little Rhode Island in there, Vermont, Maine, well, not Maine, New Hampshire, all this stuff, right? Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Louisiana, I almost said LA, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky. So all those states that, a lot of you guys I've probably talked to, Illinois, I didn't forget you over there, Miss Big. But a lot of states that these guys can really, really help lay some business down. So if you're over the phone, this is a really good thing to have. Screenshot it. Just make sure you have the availability. Or, of course, we're going to have these things available for you. But again, the big thing here, guys, is just having the capability to kind of go across the map. A simple streamlined e-app process. So we kind of touched on that earlier. Not a bunch of detail here, just really just trying to get the brain kind of moving and understanding what this product is all about. Allows for a point of sales decision and electronic signature when you can't meet the client in person. Because again, that is a lot of what's happening right now. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. People are going to prefer more to stay in the house than travel. I mean, there's a lot that goes along with that. There's windshield time, there's gas, there's again, you know, the aspect of other people driving. That's the nicest way of me saying that. And so you have a lot of things that play into the factor of getting in your vehicle and driving somewhere. But it is nice to have that maybe a bond, a referral, or something like that, where you know they kind of know about you, and then you can utilize something like this to really drive home. Hey, I can get this thing done for you in in X, Y, and Z amount of time. Do you have this time? And having a process like Aetna or having a system like Aetna has to be able to assist along the way with that is massive, right? And so there's a lot of guys out there doing it, but I do think when we talk about Aetna, Aetna sets the standard. They have really, really, really good processes. And again, it's a household name, CVS Health, all that good stuff. So again, it gives you kind of a snapshot of what it looks like. A lot of you guys probably have 9 times out of 10 seen this. Could probably tell me more about it than I've ever known. But it does give you kind of an outlook on this deal here. So we always want to throw something in there. Available now, plan information. We have custom brochures, custom trifles, which are 2 of the biggest things that most people want when they talk about something to present to their client. Something that's tangible is always going to kind of supersede something that's digital. Don't get me wrong, I'm full through and through digital kind of guy. It doesn't bother me. I don't need the paper because most of the time I'm going to probably do something in the sense of leave it sitting somewhere or whatever the case may be. But again, there are those clients, there are people that like something that's tangible, something they can hold, feel, touch, see. So make no mistake that Aetna does have it. If you need it, we've got access to it. Of course, if you have Aetna already, because a lot of you guys probably have this product. And so again, that's why I want to, kind of touch on that. It's a refresher. It's something that's really going to kind of get the brain thinking again. Maybe you've got a client in mind right now. It's like, oh yeah, I could use it for that. Again, with no height and weight chart. And then there being the super preferred rates if you have them on the MedSup side. You've got that option here. So obviously, as we were talking about it, here's their nice brochures, really, really nice here. I don't think this is a brochure. I don't think that's a brochure, but it's pretty much what it looks like, right? So very vibrant, really colorful. Obviously, got the little kid and his gramps on there. Very nice product, nice illustration. Here's another piece here. So just kind of goes in detail. You see that bracket over there, the level benefit amount, 40, 55, 56, 65, 65, 70, 76, 89. Almost felt like an auctioneer there for a second. Modified benefits kind of goes through there. Accidental death benefit, non-accidental death, child term insurance, benefit riders, accelerated death benefit rider, accidental death, number of years before reaching age 90. So this is all something, again, that goes into this client's hand. This is the trifold. Your wishes, your way, cash value flexibility. That's what we just talked about. Reduce pay up insurance, extend the term insurance, automatic premium loans, planning for tomorrow, for today. No one likes to think about this now. Again, these are just things that are going to get your clients thinking. It's also going to allow you to get to a point where you can listen. If we have more bulletins, we can talk about more. That's kind of just how it is. I mean, a lot of times, guys, when I'm talking to someone, when I'm talking to you guys, a lot of times, no, not in Florida. I think I'll go back on that real fast, Greg, to make sure. But yeah, a lot of times I'm looking at bulletins. I don't need, all this stuff. I just need to have some hot points and hot takes because again, that really allows you to be who you are. Greg, let me jump back real fast and answer that question for you. So state by state upon approval. So it looks like upon approval in Florida, California, Michigan, Maine, and Connecticut. So those are per approval, upon approval, per approval. So yeah, Greg, that's Florida looks like they've got to say yay or nay on that deal. And New York, not filed. So, yeah, Big Apple, oh, New York. So yeah, upon approval in those darker gray states, but in the New York looks like they're the only one that it's not filed at all. So again, if you get to that point, Greg, and there's someone you're looking at in Florida and you need us to, run the gamut or figure out whatever we need to do to make sure we can get that approval or whatever they're looking at giving us, we'll go back and do that. So yes, upon approval in Florida and Cali, where were we? There we are. So yeah, this deal here, guys, is going to be something that's really, really nice. It's really going to give you guys something to put into that client's hand and something that's going to get them thinking. And plus, we all know red attracts. I learned that my early adult years. I bought a red vehicle, and they definitely said, "Hey, that's more dinero on the insurance side because it's red." I had no clue. I'm a red. It's red. I was a guy. Something, something, something. So they make it attractive. They make it pop. Tap the potential of the CVS name. Nearly 70% of Americans live within 3 miles, so that's a really good point to touch on. Voted America's most trusted drugstore, provided by Sendo Insurance Company, part of the CVS Health family and companies, and an Aetna affiliate. They are an A-rated company, so that's really nice. Very good picture of Grams and the granddaughter. Let's see our last slide here. So CVS Health and Integrity Marketing Group. It is something that obviously Integrity stands by. It's really great. To shorten this all or to put a bow on all this, guys. So you have no height and weight chart. You're 40 to 89. It's e-signature, great marketing material, SSM billing matchup. Meds up in life, super preferred rates can get that client a little bit better rate, and it doesn't come out of your commission. So again, that's what Eldercare is here for. We're here to look out for you. You're here to look out for the client. We're here to make sure that these things are, the top of our priority. But at the end of the day, the independent agent has to be supported by companies like ourselves. We're going to do everything in our way and our possible to bring you guys, again, like today, just a reminder, some pieces that you can touch on. Excuse me, something that's going to jog the memory, something that's going to help you out again. So again, guys, all you guys that are still in here, of course, I'll be here. I'll call you. I'll talk with you. You have any questions, let me know. If there's anything you need from me, let me know. I appreciate you guys attending, and we'll wrap it up from here. I don't see any questions, which means I'm going to pat myself on the back. I did a good job here. Not many questions, or just a really great product, which I'm going to go with both of them. So if you guys have any questions later on, email me, give me a call. Of course, if you're interested in Aetna and you do not have Aetna, we'll have that conversation. We'll get some information out to you. But again, I appreciate you guys attending. Enjoy your week, and we'll go from there. Thank you, guys.